We've got a lot of little progress happening here. The inside of this is more or less finished here. We've got this painted gold and the lid is done as well. Minus that paint, but we also have this. And it's looking pretty good here. Yeah, let me song it in there. Wow, we've also got the kind of a tag thing for the Efreeti bottle. I'm debating whether to just kind of have a loop tightly around that little part there, and it's just going to be kind of, tied around the neck of that thing there. But do I want a hole inside of here, because, this is just, flexible plastic, so it could easily pop off of there. So I may put a hole inside of there and then have the ribbon kind of tied up around that and come through there and then attach to that. And, it won't slide off of that quite so much. And this was actually painted before, but it was a completely different texture than the other side. So I actually kind of, covered it with primer. Because I didn't do that the second time because I thought, hey, why bother type thing. Well, the texture was entirely different, so we covered it in primer. And then we're covering it in gold again after that, and it's looking a lot better now. It's looking a lot closer to the other side. So I just painted that this morning here. I'm going to cover it with that strong tone before going to work. And then that should be done for the weekend. And basically, the sides of this, I looked up online, are some crazy drawings of like, funky drawings of kids type of thing. So I cannot recreate that. So basically what I'm looking for is stock footage or like free use footage of just, abstract crowd paintings or something like that. I've tried looking up couples, but it's always like couples in love, and that doesn't really fit the theme per se. So just crowds of like, I need a few heads of people, and then I'll kind of like print it out and clamp it onto this side. Glue it onto the sides. I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to do with the tops and bottoms yet. But that's basically the plan for the sides there. So I'm going to print that out for next weekend, then glue those on, and then, coat them and everything. And that's basically going to be the plan for that. So that is the plan for that. So that's going to be a obviously it's going to be a next weekend thing. But we've got this part made. That fits really nicely inside of there. The lid is, I may have to have directional because that's not perfectly square. But I don't want to clamp it down because I don't know if that's the right direction. So I may have to have like a little key inside of there as like one side kind of points towards that type of thing. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And we've got all the pieces for these things inside of there. Good stuff. Have yourselves a beautiful day, everyone.